I don't know if too much glare is ever an issue, brother.
It was, man. My bald head was like shiny. I had to put a hat on.
I feel left out. I'm the only one not rocking Niners gear today. Are we celebrating something? Is that what's going on?
I just got a new Niner hat.
Yeah, it looks new.
This was new for the draft, also. So yeah,
Nice. How was the game, brother? How was it being up in the great homeland of 49ers?
The game was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's always fun to go up there. Sean has season tickets now, so thankfully he's carved out a few games that I get to go to this year. So it's and hopefully he keeps these tickets for a long, long time, and we all get to visit with him at different points. But God, what a great game to be at. They beat the fucking Jets, who were expected to be a good team this year, and I got to see Aaron Rodgers play before he eventually retires. So who knows when you'll get a chance to do that, right?
Yeah.
I saw a little thing that said the last time we beat Jets home game opening night. Do you guys remember the game? Garrison Hurst in overtime, 95-yard touchdown run.
Oh wow.
I knew that was against the Jets. I didn't know that was the last time we beat the Jets, but
on an opening night. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
you only play them once every whatever it is, every 4 years or so.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun to be at that game.
Run me down where the seats are. Is it home side?
It is. So I don't think you've been to the new
I've never been to the new stadium, no.
Yeah, so a more appropriate way to describe Levi's is not home side and away side. It's rich folk side and a commoner side.
I know how it's broken down. I was just asking.
The only stadium in the NFL, as far as I know, and probably in any sport, where the executive suites don't go around the entire stadium. Most stadiums will have like either 2 levels or 3 levels of suites that go around. This one is all just seats on one side and just suites on the other side.
Oh wow.
And it's just a tower of suites. And so when you're watching the game, all you see across from you is just a tower of suites, and it's like all the Silicon Valley, it's ridiculous.
My
and
stomach
you
is rumbling.
that side, like you can't even walk around the stadium. It's like you're stuck on the commoner side.
All right. So when you're staring at the boxes all across, are you on the right side or left side?
Straight across. He's on the 50-yard line.
Oh, he's in the 50. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, right on the 50-yard line. That was important.
I know he shared the tickets. I just had forgot after I looked it up. I forgot where they were.
Right on the 50 makes it easy to find.
That's cool. Yeah.
No, I mean literally the 50-yard line, if it extended up to our seats, would cross right between me and Sean's seat. It's like right there.
Me and Sean's seat. You hear how he said
me
that?
And Sean. And he said him first, not Sean. Not Sean and me. Sean brought me and Sean. I love it. Good call, brother. Good call.
In fact, there was six open seats next to us, and they never got filled the entire game. So we just spread out. We were, sitting there with our knees across, and
man spreading. Nice.
Man spreading. That's right.
Do those seats raise and lower the bottoms of them? Do they fold up and down?
No,
they're just always down, right?
Yeah, and they're pretty small.
Dude, we should make you up a couple little plaques next time you guys are up there. You guys stick them underneath the seats, right? And they'll just always be there. Nobody will ever know, but they'll always be your seats then.
Until they're folded up and they take them off as trash.
I just asked him if they folded up, brother. I just asked him, do they fold up? He said no.
Teasing.
So Sean bought these pins for us while we were up there, which is like a commemorative pin of the game, right?
Oh, that's dope.
What gave him this idea was we went to the playoff game last year, and we did not buy the pins, but about 3 months later, we went camping, and one of the girls that we went camping with, she was at that playoff game and had seen us at the tailgate.
Yeah.
And she's like, here, I bought you guys these pins. And she bought us a commemorative pin of the...
Oh, cool. Dope.
And I thought that was such a cool gesture of her to buy that for us. But then Sean and I were like, you know what, let's just buy these every time we go now. So every time we go to the game, we'll pick up...
I'd often wondered how is he going to become friends with those old guys who wear the Niners jackets with all the pins attached to them. And now I see how it starts. It's Nick and Sean.
You're already there, dude. You're already there. Okay. We talked enough. Wait, quick, 30-second. Give me like a 30-second, like what was a good takeaway from the game, watching these two teams play? What was something that stood out to you that was like, something that the people, the fans might be interested in?
In the Niner game?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously Ayuk looked rusty. The Niners look just as dominant as ever. I think that they actually might be better this year than they were last year.
Okay.
Hard to tell after one game. Debo was super involved, but I expected that without McCaffrey there and without Ayuk getting super involved. And I think Juwan Jennings is going to have a big year as well.
What about the other side of the ball? What about the other side of the ball with the Jets? Anything to be excited about? Anything that you stood out for you? Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, anything?
Yeah, there was one drive where, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but we were commenting on it as we were watching it. The first touchdown that the Jets scored, they had 3 different times where they got to third down, and every time it was the exact same play to the exact same player. Do you remember who bailed them out 3 times in a row?
No.
Garrett Wilson.
Oh, Garrett.
3 times in a row, Garrett Wilson on the same drive, and then they ended up scoring on that drive. And I told Sean, I said, if we're not going to stop Garrett Wilson on third down, we're going to lose this game. Well, the Niners made the defensive adjustment. We ended up stopping him on third down. And then who stepped up, Matt? Because Wilson was
Lizard Man?
Yep, the Lizard
Lazard,
Man.
yeah.
Garrett was getting double teamed. Lazard had a big game. So
yeah.
Although wasn't Sammy
cautious.
Watkins, isn't Sammy Watkins a Lizard Man actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, be cautious on those waiver claims for Lazard. I don't know that he's going to get quite as open in subsequent games. But
See, there's a tip. There's a tip.
All right, brother. Did you see the game any different?
No, I actually didn't even get a chance to watch the game. I was working.
Oh,
so
shame.
I was working. What are you going to do? I had to work.
Record it.
I record it. Who has a DVR these days? Anybody have a DVR? Anybody?
I didn't say tape it.
What am I recording it on?
I know, I'm teasing.
Every game, every Niner game automatically records on my YouTube TV.
Oh,
so
okay.
I watched it last night after I got home. I rewatched it because it's nice to see it on TV. You know.
So
it was a good game. Jordan Mason looked amazing.
Yeah, he sure did.
Fucking amazing.
Best game he'll ever play this season, apparently. Nathan said. So we'll see.
Looks like McCaffrey's going to be out a couple more games, so he'll have probably a few more.
McCaffrey practiced today, by the way.
Yeah, they're not going to get him out there yet. All right. Let's hope so, though. I mean, we could.
All right, league. Let's do it.
JJ versus AJ Hawk Tua. Starting. We'll just start out at the top. Justin kicked my ass, 188 to 151. I don't feel horrible about it, considering I was like right there. The average high score in the league was 150. I was right there. I hit a buzzsaw this week, and Justin's team went off. So I don't feel too bad. You guys see it any differently? Like Justin's team, I think he kind of a little overperformed in areas.
I know you don't want to hear it, but I would trade high on Daniels.
Trade high on Daniels.
I would absolutely trade high on Daniels right now.
Why?
Because he played a horrible game at quarterback besides his touchdowns that he got. I mean, the stats weren't that good. The stats weren't that good.
Did he score? Did he score? Did he score 28 points? How many games did Lamar Jackson?
Brother, I'm just giving you my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I just think that I would trade high on him right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and Ben's not going to do that. I mean,
no, I know.
And
but there's lots of other podcasts that are calling for that. I'm like the only guy. Like this isn't like crazy stuff. It's like everybody's saying trade high on Jaden Daniels.
Well, let me ask you: either of you guys want him?
No.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
I have good options at quarterback, so I'm not interested. But
I'm just trying to help you, brother. I'm just trying to help you keep value.
I appreciate that.
Point. And I think that there's different types of ways of playing this game that we play, right? And and I'm not going to bust your balls, Ben. I'm going to bring up the Jordan Mason thing again, but not to give you a hard time, just to say, for example, I play this game differently than you, and here's how I know that. Because several weeks ago, when in camp, they were saying that Jordan Mason was going to beat out Elijah Mitchell for the number 2 job. I went and picked up Mason in every dynasty league that I play in because he was sitting on waivers in every league. So I got him in a ton of leagues, except for the one league that we play in that I couldn't get him off Joe. This week, after he had his big game, I went out and made offers to the McCaffrey owner in all of those leagues, except for the leagues that I have McCaffrey. But every league where I own Jordan Mason, even the ones that I have McCaffrey, I put out trades for. Now, why did I do that? Is it because I think he's going to be horrible? He's going to have a bad season.
Because guys are tilting on McCaffrey and his injuries. He trying to
and Jordan Mason, he looks so great. He put up so many points. Why not capitalize while his value is at potentially its highest? It may never be higher than it is right now. And I owe it to myself as a competitive fantasy player to see what I can get for him. Now, in some leagues, I may not trade him, but I at least owe it to myself to see what I can get on the open market for him because I can improve my team by doing so.
I'm learning. I haven't been good at it in the past. I'm learning how to play season-long fantasy, looking at it weekly. And I know, Nate, you're good at doing that. Other people haven't done that good. I need to stop looking at long-term stuff and trade a little more. But I get what you're saying exactly.
All right,
Yep.
everybody be ready for those Mason trades coming into your inbox this week.
Nice.
Starting
Yeah,
tonight. Starting tonight.
Regarding Justin's team, though, I think that we're going to see Justin's team pop off like this from time to time because he's got Josh Allen, because he's got Tyreek Hill. And you know, that's we talked about this a little bit, or maybe we talked to offline. One of the reasons I didn't like my team after the draft is I didn't really have any game changers. I had a lot of good players, but I didn't have any players that can absolutely swing a contest for you like a Tyreek Hill. And that's one of the reasons I was going after Chase and eventually CMC. When you have people like Allen and Tyreek Hill, they're going to win weeks for you by themselves. And when they pop off at the same time, like they did this week, you're going to be the high scoring team in the league. So
yeah, he took hits too. He took A-Chain's down and Joku's down. So yeah, you're right. Up and down for sure. It's going to be that way.
Yeah. Yep. Good win, Justin. Congratulations. Let's move it on to Ryan versus Joe. 153 to 151. Joe got the loss. Ryan got the win. Anything there you guys want to talk about real quick?
I'm stuck on quarterbacks and Richardson's 9 completions for 9,000 yards or whatever it was. I mean, it's like the most ridiculous line you've ever seen, dude. Another terrible quarterback with got good points. Or not terrible quarterback play. I'm sorry. Good quarterback, probably, but just
the chatter in the offseason, early in the offseason, it was like, this guy's going to be a superstar. You got to get him on your team. He's a top 3 dynasty player. But then once training camp started, there was a lot of chatter about this guy can't play quarterback. All he is a running back who has a cannon for an arm, but he has no touch. He has no accuracy, right? And there was that story that came out a few weeks ago that I shared in the thread, that people on the other team that they were practicing with were making fun of him for how bad of a quarterback he is.
Yeah.
Amazing though, watching him play. Yeah. Dude, these bombs are just flying like missiles in the air.
Crazy.
As long as you have fast receivers, they just need to get under that ball. Who cares about accuracy?
I want to just fight back a little bit on Matt again. Just 212 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, a 60 and a 54. He had the 1 pick, but he also had 56 yards.
Did you look at his stats? How many balls did he throw? He only threw 19 pass attempts, and only 9 of them were completion. So less than 50% completion.
Okay.
We always say he's a terrible quarterback.
That's not terrible. Like, results are what matters, especially in fantasy, right?
Sure. For the weekly win, 100%. But if you're looking at value and where to trade and where to go, man, it was a horrible weekend for offenses in the NFL. The average yards per quarterback is like 206 yards or maybe 220. It's really low though. Like it hasn't been that low in it's like 1990s football again. It's ridiculous. So everybody had these really bad weeks on offenses, but a couple of quarterbacks got bailed out by some really big plays. It doesn't mean you can't bank on the touchdowns. You can't bank on the big plays. You need to bank on consistency and the percentage of completions. It's not like
there's a fantasy
crazy.
That's just 2 quarterbacks that have scored high this week that you were like, they both suck. Like they're horrible quarterbacks, but they both are 2 of the highest scoring quarterbacks in the league. You know what I mean? So
he's using inflammatory language for effect, but I think what he means is this. There's a show that I watch regularly, which I haven't watched this week yet. I'm actually probably going to watch it when we're done recording here. And what they do is they break down the difference between the stats and the tape.
Yeah.
What do the stats show and what's the tape actually show, to try and see if there's any sustainability to those stats. And I have a feeling what they're going to talk about with Richardson is that it's not sustainable because, like I said, he doesn't have a lot of accuracy. Teams are going to figure him out, right? And if you're just throwing these long 60-yard bombs and waiting for your fast receiver to run underneath it, that'll work from time to time, but is it going to be sustainable over the long term? And I think Matt's going to say that it's not.
All right.
I say it more fun than that, but you're right.
I like the way Nathan said it though. He didn't. But I said
the same thing.
Disparage the quarterbacks that just put up big numbers. That's all.
He just said it in a way that you didn't feel that. He said the same thing.
That helps me. That helps me.
By the way,
it's
what
not
a fun
about your
matchup,
feelings.
Joe and Ryan both over 150. That's got to sting for Joe, especially considering that might be his highest score of the season. And he didn't get one from it.
Shots fired. All right. Well, so it was a close one. Ryan pulled it out at the end. They both had players that projected and performed well. Some overperformed, apparently. Let's move it on.
Hold on. Do you guys think that turf in Brazil had anything to do with the Love injury?
No.
Okay. It was a bad game in general because of that field, but
Yeah, a lot of people were
dumb.
slipping and sliding, but no,
Yeah.
the way he got injured, it was just a freak occurrence of the guy being, pinning him.
All right, next game up. Nathan took on Steve. Nathan got the win, 123.38 to 83.54. I couldn't talk right there for a second.
You got there, brother. You got there.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Nate, you slid by with some poor showings.
Well, he can't break down his own shit. So
no, I know.
All right, so Steve just had a lot of really bad luck. Nate's team didn't do nearly as good as he was hoping it would do.
Not at all.
15 points from a quarterback. Walker's now hurt. He's not practicing today. Williams, that's surprising. Early in the offseason, they said Williams is going to get dropped. And then at the end, they all said he's going to be great. Woo, this is bad. That's a really bad line. But yeah, I mean, Steve had a lot of bad luck. I mean, Purdy, 10 points. JSN 3 points, Harrison 1.4. That's never going to happen again. But the guy's tilting on him is amazing. He's going to be no good. But yeah, Steve had bad luck. Steve had some bad luck.
I will say this, Matt. I know you don't want me to analyze my team, and I won't. But
no, I'm just going to let you do it first.
we talk a lot, and we've been doing it for 20 years about fantasy gods, and I don't know if there's any such thing. I doubt that there is. But if there was, they were looking out for me this week because they understood that what Bobby did to me.
Oh,
maybe it was technically legal. But it was
Mm-hmm.
shady as fuck. And with McCaffrey not playing Monday night, the fantasy god said, "Don't worry, we'll shield you this week."
So we haven't really talked about this. So you sent an offer out. You never took it back. Hold on. So you put an offer out.
Yes.
You never took it back, and Bobby accepted. And for some reason, he's shady because he should have given you more time to take it back. I don't care what he said to you. I don't care what he said. You left a trade out there. You're bad, dude.
Let me ask you a question.
Stop saying he's shady for it. I don't buy that shit at all.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. And this is a hypothetical. It's not exactly what happened, but let's say you're talking to somebody about a trade. Maybe you even offer the trade. And hold on, don't shake your head.
I'm not going to change your mind. You left it out there.
No. You put a trade out, and then you are busy watching your kids soccer play, right? You're busy being a father, right? And then the news comes out that the player involved in the trade just had a season-ending injury. And your opponent or the person that you sent the trade to knows about the injury. Is it cool of them in a friends league to then accept that trade knowing that there's been a change to the circumstances after the trade was proposed? It's kind of like an unwritten fantasy that you don't accept that trade knowing that there's been a change in circumstances, right? Well, what happened with Bobby?
So if you offer somebody that's hurt and the guy doesn't realize, you're saying the same thing, bad form.
No, I'm just saying if there's been.
Are you saying that? Are you saying also if you offer a trade and the guy's hurt, is that the same?
No, as long as at the time you're offering the trade that there's that it's understood that the guy's hurt.
You're not changing my mind.
There was.
I get what you're saying on the season-ending injury. I get the bad form.
Wait.
I don't think on this.
Were you watching your kid play soccer or doing some dad thing?
He's pulling on her heartstrings, brother. No, he's just trying to change the narrative.
Think that Bobby would play at a higher level than he did?
No,
higher level.
Here's what happened was
I'm just trying to make a point.
I literally text Bobby and I said, "Hey, I see your counter offers. I'm gonna go make lunch, and then after I'm done eating lunch, I'll take a look at it." And he wrote me back and said, "Okay." I went and made my lunch. I sat down to eat. I picked up my phone. Right when I picked up my phone, there was a Schefter tweet. And it said, "It's not just a calf, it's an Achilles." I sent that to Bobby and I said, "Hey, look at this tweet. Now that I know this piece of information, I can't do the trade unless I also get Mason." And he immediately accepted it. That to me is just poor gamesmanship. That to me is just not being cool.
Listen, coming from a guy who loves every loophole, every angle, taking advantage of their friends when they can. It's all part of the game.
Look, I just think
this time,
if it was somebody like Jeff you were dealing with, somebody like Josh maybe that but this is Bobby you're dealing with. You and Bobby have history. You can't trust him to fucking not do that. You're crazy.
You left it out there, dude. That's all we need to say about it. You left it out there.
Anyways.
Hey, you fallen asleep there's a bunch of us who probably, I know for a fact, have sent out drunken trades, forgot about them, got woken up to, oh shit, I sent that out, right? This is no different, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's you get burned sometimes. It happens.
I take responsibility for my part in it. All I'm saying is
go.
the fantasy gods put a shield over me this week.
They did.
And you notice they didn't put any shield over Bobby. That's all I'm saying.
Quickly.
All right.
How pleasantly surprised and disappointed are you in your rookie Worthy and the other side of the guy you've been talking up like crazy, Kincaid, a ghost?
Yeah,
but
Kincaid
talk to
had
me
a bad
about that real
week,
quick.
Every tight end had a bad week, all the highly drafted ones. So, I mean, listen, it was a funky week. All the top 5 tight ends, top 6 tight ends had bad weeks.
Yeah, terrible.
So I'm not too worried about it. I think Kincaid will get
Bowers.
it going. I'm stoked on Worthy. I mean, yeah, he's not as involved as I'd like to see him, but I think that will grow as the season progresses. I think he's going to start to earn more and more targets.
Yeah.
But look what he did with 3 targets. I mean, that was awesome, right?
Incredible.
And by the way, I put my money where my mouth is because it's not just Jordan Mason, but in this very league, I've already sent out 2 trades with Worthy. Sell high, baby. Right?
All right, I'm in. I'm gonna sell high. Let's do this shit. Buy my shit. Although Etienne's not doing great, so I kind of want to start fucking Mason this week over.
No, you should, yeah.
Etienne's brother will be drafted next year, first round of Dynasty Leagues, though.
There you go. I thought the same thing about Puka Nakua's. I thought Puka Nakua's brother was going to pop off, but the Saints dropped him. I was like, Samson. He had the great people were talking good things about him. All right, Stroud of myself. Jeff took our advice and changed Nate's advice and changed his name to Stroud of myself. Took on my brother Matt and the most clever name football. Matt got the loss. Jeff got the win, 134.96 to 121.12. Nathan, break it down because we can't let Matt break his down first.
Them the rules.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was another close matchup. We got 135 to 121. It looks like CJ Stroud and Tua went toe for toe. Looks like they both did the same. What's the difference here? The difference is that Jeff had a couple of more of those double-digit middle of the road 17, 15, 10 guys, and Matt, his guys, sort of unperformed, and other than Kyron Williams, who did okay. I think they're both going to be fine in the long run. I think they both have good teams. I actually expected more from Jeff's team this week. I thought that Derrick Henry was severely disappointing, and I hope that's not a sign of things to come for him.
Yeah.
That's because all the work that Justice Hill got.
Yeah.
Brother, you stole him from me in the draft, you jerk.
Yeah, I saw that. I kept watching.
He got like 8 catches.
I know.
He's going to get it all year long.
I know. It's hard to get those guys, though. Guys like that, they're hard, though, because you want to put them in, but like.
I would start him every week. I mean, he's going to be a 12 or more plus guy every week. And I'd lock him in on that.
Yeah, big loss for Jeff. Big loss for Jeff. Let's talk about real quick. Puka Nacua going out. He could be out, what? They said 3 to 4 weeks or something like that.
They rushed him back.
Loss for Jeff and a gain for Alex.
For Mr. 30 targets a game, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, that's big. But I also wanted to talk about that because are we worried about overuse for Cooper Kupp now that Puka Nacua is out? I mean, they're hoping this Tyler Johnson kid steps up, and they got Demarcus Robinson. But dude, they were feeding Kupp and Kupp and Kupp and Kupp, dude. Like, I worry about him. I have him in Dynasty. What?
Yeah, vintage Kupp. I mean, it looked just like the Kupp that finishes the number 1 wide receiver in the league 2 years in a row. Yeah. And by the way, he held up both of those years. I think the real concern is that soft tissue, and we haven't heard any issues of that popping up yet. But
no,
if I was Alex, I might be looking to, maybe ride it for another week or 2 and see if I could sell high right before Puka comes back. That might not be a
I was higher on Kupp the whole time, like we talked about, and I would rather Puka be there with him to keep the stress off, keep the extra work off. I think Kupp was gonna be the number 1 guy either way. I thought, but
yeah, me too.
Hope he doesn't get worn down. Yeah, dude. On my side, like Drake London, I know, but let's talk about Kirk Cousins. He couldn't drop back. Like he had to, dude. He was they didn't do a single play action because he couldn't move. Penix could be in soon. Like those conspiracy theories that people were saying once they saw Kirk, they knew what they had, so that's why they took Penix. I'm starting to think that might be true because he was immobile.
He did not look good. He did not look good.
Yeah, and I think you could say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. I mean, these old quarterbacks coming back from an Achilles injury. If they lose that mobility and they're not able to kind of move in and out of the pocket, which is something that Aaron Rodgers always relied upon. That's something to be concerned about for sure. And
Yeah.
and
I
that's
thought
gonna
Kirk
impact
looked
not
quite
just-
a bit worse than Aaron. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but
Yeah,
he was
his
getting,
injury was much later than Aaron's
Yeah.
too.
True.
he was getting no protection either though. I mean, they were in on him like crazy. I was watching that game going like, damn, dude.
But if you know the target's
Huh?
never going to move, you don't have to worry about looping outside. You can just come right up the middle.
Yeah.
TJ
You know,
Watt
he
was just
wasn't moving.
fucking pinning his ears back and just
Oh, like
Oh,
crazy.
I'm spending $3 next year. I'm fucking spending $3.
Yeah.
God
all
damn
right.
it.
Let's
All right,
move
hold on. Before we leave my team, just to bring it back around. After all my talk about fucking not starting a rookie, I didn't want to start a fucking rookie. I had to start Keon Coleman, 9.1 points. Harrison, 1.4. Neighbors at a rookies didn't do that good this weekend, and I had to start one. I was not happy about it, but
I disagree that you had to start one. I think
who would I started over him?
Brandon Cooks would have been a viable option.
Well,
I didn't think that
obviously.
at the time. I do now. He's in my lineup. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
I mean,
Hindsight.
Brandon Cooks has had a long career of being a reliable 14, 15 point guy.
It's true.
You know?
And I'll be starting him. My brain went to the have fun, CeeDee Lamb Dak new contest. They're going to ball out, even though it's Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's where my head went. Yep.
All right. Forgotten existence.
Who is that again?
That's
Is that
Nice,
Josh?
Nice name.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I love the fact
right there.
I love the fact that he's leaning into it, but like I don't know, maybe I thought a more clever team name would have been like the Invisible Man.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Like we never noticed that he's there.
Yeah. Well,
Forgotten
he
I like it.
he took
I
out
like his.
Sean 160.3 to 135.62. And yeah, Jordan Love, he lost. But overall his team showed up for him. 39 from Reed. Holy moly.
Yeah, and I'd
Can
be
you
worried
play him?
about did he lose just Jordan Love this week, or did he also lose Reed?
Do we know
It's a
anything
valid
about
question?
do
Valid
we know
question.
anything
It
about
says-
this Lewis? Is that Malik Lewis?
Malik Willis.
Oh, Willis.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about him? Has anybody heard?
Yeah, he
anything?
looked really bad when he's played at Tennessee. He's looked really bad whenever he's played. Here's the thing
Yeah,
about
he
Jaden
was-
Reed, and I was going to throw out the same question just for fun. They do enough end around with him, like end arounds and everything. I think you can still start him. I think he's probably the only wide receiver on the team you can start while Love's out. But I think he'll be okay.
Here's what I know about Malik Willis to answer your question, Ben, is that a few years ago, the dynasty community got really excited about him when he was in the draft. And they thought, oh, if this guy gets drafted in the first round, he's going to be the #1 overall pick in dynasty. And this is like my first year playing dynasty. And I was like, okay, they must know something about this guy that I don't know. I don't watch a lot of college ball. And when he started slipping in the NFL draft, I don't know which round he ended up going in, but the dynasty community just fucking cut bait on him immediately. Like he had no value in dynasty. And the book on him is that he can't throw, that he's not a passer.
Got it.
Great runner, not much of a passer. And I don't know that he has the kind of cannon that Anthony Richardson has to make up for it. So we'll see what he does, but I don't have high hopes for any of those
He finished
Packers
out the year in
receivers.
Tennessee 2 years ago, right? The last couple of games. That's when he played.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah, I was
That's all.
hoping I was seeing good. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna talk about Sean's team real quick. I had high hopes for Sean starting off strong with Barkley. I think we all were like, at least I was going, damn, Matt knows a little something about football. Saquon fucking balling out.
No victory laps week 1, but
I know,
I know,
but he looked good. He
Wow.
looked like vintage Saquon.
Matt knows about football because he said he likes Saquon Barkley, who was a first-round pick in every league. Like,
Oh, come on, Nathan. Me and you both were like
Hater,
fucking talking
hater.
shit. We were both talking shit. Both of
no,
us
I didn't
were.
talk shit. All I said, Matt
Rewind
said
the tape.
#1 running back, and I said I don't have him on my top 5. That's all I said.
Yeah,
That's not
that-
talking shit.
Oh, that's talking shit in this league.
Yeah, it's talking shit.
That's some
Okay,
serious shit talking.
Totally. Watch your work.
Regardless, I was surprised, and good job. Nice.
It's that offensive line. That's the only reason I said it. It's that offensive line and who he is.
I want to.
Well,
say
he was
something about
playing
Josh's
outside the offensive line though. Some of those that 18-yard scramble outside that he caught that ball. That was he looked good. Anyways, Jamar
I want to
Chase.
say something. I
Go
want to
ahead.
say something about Josh's team before we move on to the next matchup.
Oh, it's
Of
fine.
all the teams this week, and it is unfortunate that he lost Love for a few weeks, but of all the teams, Josh's team really stands out as being one of the most balanced and looks like it could be sustainable. He's got so many guys that scored in double digits. There's not really any one guy that stands out other than Reed's 39 points. It looks like a team that really could be competitive as long as Josh remembers the other 33%, right? And we know as fantasy players, 33% of your success is the draft, 33% is luck, and the other 33% is in-game play. And that's the one thing I think Josh has always struggled with. I'd like to see Josh get a little more aggressive, hopefully with his wife's help, and do better at that other 33% and get his first championship this year. I think that'd be cool.
In-game play, like
he would have
trading?
put
In-game
like
play,
trading, waiver wire pickups.
Oh,
he means
got
like
it.
in-season movement.
Just doing
He said
stuff,
in-game,
being
but yeah,
active.
in-season.
Got it.
Yeah.
Don't tinker
If he would
too
have played
much,
Dobbins,
Josh.
he would have been at
Don't tinker.
180.
Yeah, he would have. He would have been at 180 if
180,
Dobbins.
Yep.
Well, no. Close to it, anyways. Yeah. Oh, instead of Hubbard, you're saying. Got it.
Instead of Hubbard. Yeah. Moving over
Yeah,
180.
horrible game.
Yep.
Yeah. Chubba. Well, nice win, Josh. We're all gonna remember this one. I promise.
I already forgot it.
Who?
All right, let's move on to the last game. Not much of a game, but a game anyways played. Alex took out Bobby 151-109.
Struck down by the fantasy gods, according to Nathan.
Woo! You had no shot.
That's
Bobby.
a big statement, dude.
You had
big
no
statement.
shot. It was bigger than you.
Damn.
You had no choice.
Yeah, I mean, karma is a bitch. We know that. But also, you know what?
Okay, go ahead.
There's been a lot of talk about the trades that Bobby made leading up to the draft. He traded Chase, he traded McCaffrey, and obviously trading McCaffrey may end up being a good move for him in the long run. We'll see. But, when you look at his team and what he made, it's like, could he have traded and built a more vanilla down the middle fucking 6 seed if he fucking tried? I mean, or maybe even a 7 seed. He built the most boring vanilla team that I could ever imagine. There's no superstars. There's no game winners. Other than maybe Samuel, there's nobody that's going to pop off and win in weeks all by themselves. So good job, Bobby. You went and traded for a vanilla team.
Nate, could you take the team he has now and turn it into a playoff team?
Yeah, I think so.
You're that confident?
Yeah, I could take any team and turn it into a playoff team.
Swap teams with them.
Oh,
you guaranteed you could do it, dog. Let's prove how. No,
boom,
throw it on the table, dude.
ever.
Whip it out and throw it on the table.
Well, he already has half my team right now.
Don't walk it back. All right,
He took 4 of my best players. I mean, shit.
All right.
Wait, so does that mean
Big
you
talk
drafted?
until he has to put it on the line.
Does that mean you drafted a vanilla team? If he took 4 of your best players and now they're on
Very
his
much.
vanilla team,
Very much. I was so pissed off at myself leaving that draft because I missed out on all the high-end talent because of all the craziness. That
No
happened
game breakers.
And that's exactly what I was complaining about. Is I just drafted the most boring team ever. I was like, I got to get some of these guys off my team. Let me get some stars. Let me get some scrubs. Find some people on the waiver wire and put together a scrappy team. Bobby obviously had the opposite approach. Let me just get rid of all my stars and get a bunch of middle of the road players.
Are we giving any credit to Alex's team for the win, or is it all Bobby's team that just was bad?
Oh, I said it last week's pod. Alex has one of the best teams in the league as long as they stay healthy. Cooper Kupp is going to have a great year. Stephon Diggs, Jacobs, Rice, Adams, Andrews. I mean, Alex should be right there in the contention for the championship game at the end of this year. Good job, Alex.
Okay. Alex, trade Diggs high.
Oh,
Now. He caught like 6 balls at the line of scrimmage. It was the weakest, it was terrible. But he got points. I know it's all that counts. I get it. But trade him high. That's what I'd do.
Are you trying to get him?
Nope. When I say trade high, I don't want the guys I'm saying trade high on because I'm never going to trade high on. I'm saying they just had their best game. When I say it, I mean value. I think is going down. So trade him at his highest before he loses value. Because Ben, all his catches are at or like within 2 or 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. They were not good. Here, okay, I don't remember the stat exactly, but he had 6 catches, 33 yards. I think he had 14 air yards. Both other receivers, Tank Dell and Collins, I think were over 90 yards air yards. It shows who got the valuable targets and needed to move the ball. Diggs almost got forced the ball right at the line of scrimmage to show the veteran we respect you. We give you the ball, give you the ball, give you the ball.
I don't think it's. That's an interesting take. That's an interesting take.
That's not unusual for a veteran to come to a new team and then for that very first game they want to get him very involved.
Yep.
And that may taper off. I think Diggs is going to have a good year, but it's going to be tough to be consistent in that offense with all those weapons. And so I don't know if I'd be selling Diggs necessarily. I'm not sure his value is all that high. But yeah, I see what your point is, Matt.
Did you guys watch the Chargers game?
Parts
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what you guys think about the receivers for the Chargers, because I had Palmer on my team, and he was
can dance.
he was getting that. Well, that's what I'm getting at. Palmer was getting some looks, but McConkey was the big winner that
But didn't only have one or how many catches did he have? Because I don't think he had a lot of catches, right? Quinn Johnson led the team in receptions.
He had 5 receptions for 39 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, the touchdown bailed him out, so 8 yards or 8 points besides that. But was Quentin the leading receiver? Which it would surprise me if he was. I thought I might have heard that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
Okay.
But they're an interesting team. Did you guys? I was just curious if you thought
Matt, you have Quentin. You should know what he got.
It wasn't on my team. Sorry. I just thought Ben was looking at the box still. I thought maybe.
No, Quentin got 3 receptions for 38 yards. So McConkey out.
Okay. All right.
It was a good debut for the Rook. I mean,
yeah.
And he had that touchdown. It looked good.
He looked good.
I was most surprised. I would say the most surprising performance of the weekend was J.K. Dobbins. Obviously, we said we weren't sure if he was going to be, the same player that he was before the Achilles, and God, he looked awesome. 135 rushing yards and a touchdown, and they were using him, and he was the bell cow on that team. I'm stoked.
Did you see his long runs though?
No.
So his long runs looked great for like the first 30 yards. And then at like 45 yards, because I think they were like 54 yards and 69 yards or something like that. At like 40 yards, he wraps up with both hands and goes, "Oh, fuck, I'm out of gas. Oh, blood," and gets tackled. Like he could not finish any run, which is expected. But he looked really good the first 30 yards in burst. But,
all right, 2-minute drill, guys. We got four other leagues to talk about. I'm on Dynasty right now. I'm just gonna read the scores off. That's a lot.
I'm glad you read all that, just in case somebody in one of our leagues doesn't have a computer. So now they know their scores.
All right. Well, what else do you want to say?
I don't know. We got some questions in the threads here.
You got a minute, less than a minute. Go.
Matt, Sean wants to know why you won't invite him on as a guest.
Oh my God.
We'll cover that on the next podcast.
Steve wants to know, can my team win an Empire?
I don't think so.
No. Let's see here. In Dynasty, Steve wants to know if he's still rebuilding.